22, Will Wilbanks. Number 4, Matthew McDade. And rounding out the lineup, number 13, Connor Curley. Today's starting pitcher for the Cougars is number 25, Jamie Boatwright. The head coach of Columbus State is Greg Alps and assistant head coaches Patrick Collins with assistant semi-stars Carson Bowers, Ryan Otley, and Perez Knowles.
A good afternoon and welcome inside Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field on the campus of Columbus State University. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon at the ballpark, and we are ready for some Cougar baseball this afternoon on Cougar Sports TV. We welcome all those who have joined us here this afternoon. I'm Corey Aldis. To my right, the man himself, Scott Miller, has joined me in the booth. He's back from his road trip as the men's and women's basketball teams did battle, and it's good to see you back here safely and ready to call some baseball.
Always fun to get to the baseball diamond. I feel like I just stepped off the bus just a couple of hours ago. And
got enough sleep in you?
No, I don't think I'll ever catch up.
That's just the way we like it.
But you've got a baby in the house, so you're probably not getting much sleep either for different reasons.
We're in the same boat. I think I might prefer your reason instead of a crying baby in my ear all night, but, you know, it's up for debate. Well, the Cougars looking for the Sunday sweep this afternoon. They're donning their red tops, white bottoms. It's Sunday Reds out there here at Ragsdale Field this afternoon. Jamie Boatwright gets the start, the usual Sunday starter for CSU, with chance for the Cougars to row the boat with the redshirt sophomore out there as he makes another start for CSU, his fifth start this season. And, boy, his last start was absolutely impressive. Taking down Flagler with 7 strong innings, giving up just 4 hits, 1 earned with a couple of Ks. So we like a repeat performance of that this afternoon. Boatwright is out there right now, and we are just about set for the opening pitch to get things underway. Burgess will lead things off here for Lander. And first pitch is sent in a little high for a ball, and we're good to go here at Ragsdale Field. A few changes in the lineup here for Lander. The Cougars, they're rolling out their usual lineup, although it's going to be a little bit different from what we saw yesterday. Again, Meadows is back in town, by the way, so it's great to see Meadows back in town. He left for a day, had to go up to a family wedding, and he's back here as Burgess rips one into left field. That one's going all the way back for Dane Bullock, who can't make the grab. A dive-in attempt as his hat flew off his head, and that's going to be a stand-up double to lead things off.
And that is the first hit for Burgess in this series. He was 0 for 8 in the series coming into that at bat.
Yeah, 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts. You were kind of feeling really good about getting the better of him, and then all of a sudden he sends one into deep left field. That's a good attempt by Dane Bullock out there. We actually saw him make a grab like that yesterday. Didn't quite dive to the ground, but it was full extension as he was reaching out with his hat flying off and came down with the grab while he stayed on his feet. Gregory now, the one at the plate. He's the new right fielder again. If you recall, yesterday Harold had gone out with that injury as he had made that attempted grab out there in deep right field when he banged up against the wall and hurt his shoulder on that inside the park home run. So Gregory came in relief for him late in that game yesterday, and he gets the start here this afternoon. One and one the count. Runner Burgess over there on second base. Boatwright's pitch gets in there for a strike.
Cougars open play today. Still in first in the league is 7-1. Georgia College right behind us at 6-1.
How about the start for the Cougars here in conference play? 7-1, sitting atop the standings all by themselves. That's a sight that you like to see if you're a Cougar fan.
Well, they're doing so far what they needed to do with the schedule. The schedule is front-loaded with all these home series, and so far they're taking care of business.
Could really use a sweep here at home. It would be back-to-back conference weekend sweeps for the Cougars. Again, they took care of business, like you said, last weekend against Flagler. Finished things off with a 2-1. That was a grind-out win last Sunday with Boatwright on the mound. I'm hoping that now that you're here, Scott, that we're going to get a little bit of offense. It's been a couple of pitchers duels that we've seen here in the past couple of games. Just a combined 10 total runs in the 2 games. And mind you, these are 2 really good offenses that came into this series. Landon was one of the tops inside the Peach Belt Conference. And Columbus State, not a bad offense themselves at all. 10 combined runs in the first 2 games.
So you're saying that you're glad I'm here hoping to get more offense? Are you calling me offensive? Or what do we got? What's going on here?
It could be, I don't know. I'm going to leave that one up for you. That's up for your discretion. There's a swing there and a foul tip that's going to land in the mitt of Robert Brooks. So Gregory strikes out. Boatwright, not really a big strikeout getter on the season. We mentioned his 2 strikeouts that he had in the 7 innings of work against Flagler. Season high is just 3. One down, and it brings Fitchgin to the plate. We've seen him all series.
He's 2 for 9 in the series with a couple of strikeouts.
One of the things that Lander really has struggled with all series long, and we saw it especially in the opening game when Jalen Lotta pitched, just stranding runners out there and unable to get the timely hits when they needed to. They consistently had runners on the base paths against Jalen Lotta, runners on first, second, even third base, and each and every time, other than one specific time, but Lotta was able to continually get out of it time and time again.
Boy, Jalen has been money so far, hasn't he?
He has been so impressive in the early start to his season. It's been fun to watch him out there. Almost as impressive as his post-game interviews. I don't know if you've seen any of his post-game interviews, but the guy is an absolute legend in his post-game interviews. I'm not sure there's a better guy that I like to interview than Jalen Lotta. That one hit over to Boughton at short. High throw over to Horn, 2 down. He says he gets upset when I post the bloopers for his post-game interview, so I'll create some bloopers, because there's plenty of bloopers to choose from every single post-game. But then he'll repost it, so you know it's one of those like, yeah, I'm upset, but also, yeah, let me jab at myself too.
Building his brand.
Funny guy. People think that he's really, really quiet, and I used to always think that, but apparently when you get to know the team and you talk around them, they say that that's the exact opposite. He puts on a show there thinking that he's quiet.
Well, his secret is now out.
2 down here for the Bearcats. They got the leadoff double, and Burgess is still standing over there on second base. So once again, the Cougars have a chance to get out of it. Glanton, the one at the plate, we know the power that he has. He hit that solo home run. That was against Lotta, by the way, in the opening game of this series. That led off the top of the second inning back on Friday night. He hit one well into deep center field.
That was one of his 2 hits in the first 2 games.
Well, he's quickly behind here, 0-2 to Boatwright. Let's get one more strike and send us to the bottom of the frame. Looks back at second, sends the pitch in just outside. We couldn't have asked for better weather here at the park this afternoon.
I was walking in snow yesterday morning.
Oh, well, here you go. Welcome back. See, you brought the nice weather with you, too. 65 degrees right now down on the field. Sun is shining.
Yep, Coach Robert Moore and I showed you how much we like to eat. We were walking in some light snow down from the hotel down to the restaurant to grab a big breakfast.
You better be telling me that breakfast was worth it, right?
Well, you got to have a little more than a hotel breakfast when you won't eat again until 7 o'clock at night.
Good call. We know how that goes as broadcasters. You got to load up.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it anyway.
Glanton's worked himself back into an even count. 2-2, 2 down, runner on second. Boatwright's pitch, a swing and a miss. He got Glanton to strike out there. Runner stranded over there on second base. The leadoff double, nothing happening there. Let's head to the bottom of the first here on Cougar Sports TV.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
Back here on Cougar Sports TV as we were getting set to start the bottom of the first inning. Jamie Boatwright put in some work there in that first inning as David Meadows leads things off here with a single into left field. So David Meadows with the leadoff single for the Cougars. Welcome back, David Meadows. It's good to have him back inside the lineup here this afternoon. Brings Isaac Boughton to the plate here for CSU. First pitch comes in as Boughton fouls that one back. Carson Schlegel, the pitcher this afternoon for Lander, the right-handed junior from Claremont, Florida, out of East Ridge High School. He's been here at Lander for a couple of seasons as he starts his junior campaign with them. What a start to his season, though, he's had. He's 4-0 already on the year. Hasn't even made 4 starts. He's got 4 appearances, but just 3 starts. But 4-0 with a 0.84 ERA. He has been lights out for the Bearcats early on this season. Schlegel looks over at first. Boughton at the plate, off speed, that's high. Ball 2. Schlegel with his 3 starts, his 1 appearance out of the bullpen came against Claflin, but he went 4 1/3 and ended up picking up the win. That's how he's got 4 wins on the season. But his other 3 starts against Erskine, Emmanuel, and Augusta, all wins as well. So undefeated, 4-0 to open up his junior campaign.
You may have to excuse me for a bit. There are 2 young ladies walking through the stands with a sign that says Girl Scout cookies, 5 boxes for $20.
Girl Scout, where do you see this at? Girl Scout cookies. You're going to have to sign me up here.
Right there to your left.
Oh, here we go. Do we have a favorite? Thin Mints. Thin Mints are usually everyone's favorite, but I honestly believe that Samoas are really underrated.
Is that the coconut one, the Samoans?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. And Thin Mints, maybe a 1B.
Can't go wrong with either. You can't really go wrong with any Girl Scout cookies, let's be honest. Put the Thin Mints in the freezer. I like to chill them up. David Meadows was taken off for second there, but he'll have to head on back.
Didn't buy any this year, so I don't know. I assume 5 for $20. Is that a good deal? I don't know what they cost this year.
Well, prices have certainly gone up over the years on Girl Scout cookies. I feel like you could get a box for a couple of bucks back in the day. That sounds about right. The problem is that I eat through them so fast that it's hard to keep them in stock.
You can definitely mow through, not you, just you in general can mow through a box very quickly before you know it. And then you go.
You don't even realize it.
Well, and then to justify it, you go, these are smaller than they used to be.
Meadows taking off again. Oh, Boughton loses his bat as it all of a sudden disappeared behind him. Meadows is going to have to head back one more time. Ball popped out there from the catcher, Davis.
Robert Brooks making sure his compadre behind the plate is okay.
Robert Brooks, ever the politician out there on the field with the home plate umpires. Home plate umpire Shannon Brown out there right now. His crew has been here all series long. Had some interesting calls that both coaches have not really necessarily agreed with on Friday and Saturday. Hopefully a nice clean game here this afternoon. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one in the dirt. Meadows for the 3rd time. He's finally in there at second base. 3rd time's the charm.
He's getting his running in.
Well, he missed yesterday's game, so he's got to make up for it, right? Got to get those steps in. I asked him pre-game. Speaking of steps, he got plenty of steps in down there on the dance floor with his sister's wedding that occurred that he left town for. But good to see him back over there on second base. Full count, no outs, runner in scoring position already. Here's the payoff from Schlegel, way outside, not even tempting. Boughton's going to make his way over to first base.
That's a good at bat by Isaac there, just hanging in there, drawing that walk.
2 already on here for CSU. Dalton draws his 8th walk of the year, and David Meadows is now a perfect 6 for 6 in stolen base attempts this season. Robert Brooks up at the dish. This is a guy that absolutely loves playing against this Lander Bearcat squad. He's had a good start to this series, and over the past couple of years, he has lit up the Bearcats. A couple of home runs 2 seasons ago when we swept Lander right here at Ragsdale Field. That was the World Series year, 2018.
He's 3 for 6 in this series with a double, RBI, and a walk.
He would have no problem facing Lander all season long. He's got a chance here to open up the scoring for the Cougars. 2 on the base paths, no outs. Oh, boy, and Robert Brooks gets pegged in the back there. That's the 2nd time that he's been hit in this series. And every single time, this is a Robert Brooks thing, but every single time he gets hit, doesn't ever flinch. He just kind of takes it and walks over to the base.
Now batting number 10, Preston Horn.
Well, if you're Lander, not the guy you want to see with the bases loaded. Bryson Horn steps up to the plate here for CSU. Talk about the opportunity to come through for the Cougars. Has he caught his breath yet, though, from yesterday's inside the park home run?
I'm sorry I missed that one.
In his post-game interview, he mentioned that he thought it was going to be a triple because he saw the guy fall down. And so he's coming over to third base, and he sees Patrick Collins waving him home, and in his head he's wondering, I don't know what's going on, but for some reason he's waving me home, so I need to turn on the afterburners.
Yeah, like he didn't have them on before then?
The afterburners were turned on, and he actually just barely made it home in time. The 1-0 is swing and a miss.
I would have thought his first thought would have been, is there a halfway stop for some oxygen here before I get to the plate?
Maybe a cup of water or something as I'm rounding third. He had to make the slide home, and he got there just in time, and inside the park home run. 3rd time this season that Horn's been up with the bases loaded. As that pitch is outside. He's 1 for 2 on the year with 3 RBIs. Still not a single out recorded by the Bearcats. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a called strike inside. Meadows over there on third base. Boughton at second. Brooks is at first. Horn, one of the top RBI getters on this Cougar squad, at the plate. 13 RBIs and 3 home runs this season. Here comes the 2-2. Hit well into right field. That's going to be a base knock. Going to have a chance to at least plate one. They're going to hold Boughton over there at third base, probably wisely so. But the Cougars on the board with an RBI single.
Good job by Bryson. Just reached out and poked it into right field, and with nobody out, the safe play to hold him at third, and off to a good start.
Everyone move up a base, and we'll do it again with Drew Webb now at the plate. And before we get to see Drew Webb, we'll already have a meeting on the mound by Lander. Schlegel in some trouble here, which is obviously surprising to those that have followed him throughout this season. He has a 0.84 ERA. He's only given up 2 earned, although 7 have come across, but only 2 have been earned this entire season and 21 1/3 that he's pitched. And here he's already given up 1 and has the bases loaded in the bottom of the first with no outs still out there.
Cougars will be on the road next weekend for their first road series. Will be at Augusta Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here in March. March is here.
It's hard, at least for myself, and maybe I'm a little biased, but it's hard to find a better month than the month of March for me. Baseball starts this month, major leagues. We have our collegiate baseball seasons happening. You have March Madness going on. March is just, I don't know, one of those months.
It's a great one. So Drew gets his walk-up song twice here, so maybe this will
There you go, double.
give him some energy.
Double the luck. First pitch, swinging, hits that one high into center field. Richie's back there. Should be obviously deep enough easily for a sac fly. Cougars now played another run. It's 2-0. Drew Webb knocks in an RBI.
Robert Brooks on the play, moved over to third.
This is what CSU has been doing all season. They find a way to just manufacture runs. Again, you're talking about a single, a walk, a hit by pitch, then an RBI single, and now a sac fly. You go down their roster, and you've probably noticed it a lot more in years past, but before I got here, I was always told that this was such a really good power-hitting squad, and when I got here, it was just kind of a home run or strikeout, mash them out or strike them out. And now this year, it's just been completely different. Very, very limited on the home runs, but they've just been working their way to wins and runs and manufacturing those opportunities.
Yeah, they so far taking advantage of what's been given, and yeah, in the historically, there's been a lot of power here, and the teams have scored most of their runs with the extra base hits.
Here's the 0-1 that's fouled off. Dane Bullock, the one at the plate here for CSU. He's got runners on the corners. I was joking with him in the dugout before the game, asking him if he needs the bases to be empty to get his hits, because in this series, he struggled when runners have been on. He had bases loaded in the opening game on Friday night. He had 2 on as well. He had another opportunity with runner in scoring position, and he was striking out each of those times. Here he is with runners on the corners.
He has 1 double in the series to this point.
One and 2 the count. Schlegel trying to keep the runs that he's given up here at a minimum. That pitch is high, 2-2.
Georgia College hits North Georgia with 5 in the top of the first inning up in Dahlonega.
2-2 the count, 1 down. Schlegel sends that pitch in and got Dane Bullock to swing right through it. Yeah, maybe he does need the bases to be empty there as he will head back to the dugout, leaving runners on the corners.
Now batting number 22, Bill Willing.
Well, CSU leads the nation in 2 categories. They lead the entire nation in 2 categories. Obviously, double plays has been one that's been mentioned a lot, and I had teased this on Friday night, and we finally had an opportunity that we just saw a couple of batters ago, but they also lead the nation in sac flies.
How about that?
And Drew Webb delivering one for CSU. Keep the Cougars in the lead in the sac fly department. I believe now 14 on the season. That ball hit a mile high in the air as Richie's going to come up from center field and make the grab for the 3rd and final out. So the Cougars loaded the bases with 0 outs. They do get 2 runs across the board. They take the early lead here on Cougar Sports TV.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. no Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
Back here on Cougar Sports TV as we enter the second inning of play. You'll take that first inning from CSU. A couple of strikeouts by Jamie Boatwright on the mound, and then the Cougars put up 2 runs to take the early lead. Well, our Cougar men's tennis team is in action, by the way. We talked all about them for the past couple of days as we've been following them over in Oklahoma City, part of the ITA Indoor National Championships. This is actually the first season that they're doing it at the Division II level. And Cougars, one of the teams invited down there. They are squaring off right now in the national championship match against Barry, a team that they actually played in the NCAA National Championship last year. That was a gut-wrenching loss. I was out there for that one. And the Cougars were up by 2 points, had a chance to seal the deal, and then Barry stormed back and won on the final court in singles. So a fun rematch here for CSU and Barry. And right now they just opened up doubles play. Each team winning one of their doubles courts, so it's coming down to the first double court to decide who wins the doubles point. Big match up there.
It's become quite the rivalry.
Oh, yes. 2 of the best. Really, I shouldn't even say 2 of the best. They are the top 2 teams. So the top 2 teams in the nation squaring off. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That one misses. Ball 4. A leadoff walk here by the Bearcats. It's Colton Yeager who drew the walk. So head on over there to first base. He's always a guy with speed over there, a potential stolen base threat that Boatwright will have to deal with. We're going to have an early meeting here on the mound as Coach Appleton's going to quickly come out of the dugout alongside Robert Brooks.
Bradley Davis with just 1 at bat in this, 2 plate appearances in the series. He's 0 for 1 with 1 walk. That was a very quick, one-sided meeting there.
Yep. Coach Appleton shared what he wanted to share. Boatwright shook his head, and we're ready to roll.
That was not a participatory meeting.
That was I'm going to listen, and I'll listen well, and now let's get the job done. Want to know the count? Here's the pitch, hit well into center field. Connor Curley is going to track back. He'll have plenty of room and space to make the grab for out number 1.
Now batting, number 23, Bo Ritchie.
Bo Ritchie now the one up at the plate here for Lander, with Yeager over on first base. This is our first chance to see Bo Ritchie. He hasn't had any at-bats in this series as he takes a strike to start.
All right, so we have a definitive answer on the price of Girl Scout cookies. My brother David, who's watching today, David said that he just bought a box and they're $4.
So we need it to be a little bit cheaper, huh?
Well,
The 5 for 20.
it's
You're
a
not
great
giving
bit
me
of. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna look at it this angle, Corey. That's a great bit of marketing by those two young Girl Scouts
Sure.
because if they cost $4, their sign that they've been carrying through the stands, 5 for $20. I'm
Makes you
going.
think.
That's a deal there. Give me 10.
Kudos. And just for that bit of marketing, you sold me. I'll take 5 boxes. 0-2 the count. 1 down. Runner over on first. They're trying to keep Yeager closer to the bag. By the way, I had mentioned just a second ago our men's tennis team's coming down to the final court. It's actually in a tiebreak now, 6-6 on the opening court there. So, again, we'll keep you up to date and posted on that. It's a big deal for the Cougars as they try to bring home a national indoor championship for CSU.
Just make room in the trophy case next to the other one there.
My goodness. The women's tennis team, by the way, they're also in action. They're playing for 3rd place. They had just a gut-wrenching loss last night. They were on top of Hawaii Pacific 3-2 before falling in the final 2 courts.
Yeah, I was following that on the bus coming back home and wishing that I had some video to watch, but that was a tough one.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Chop foul.
Hey, good luck to the cheerleaders and dance team today, right? It's today, I believe, over in Augusta, I think, for the PBC championships.
Yeah, a lot of happenings for CSU and the athletic program as that one is, again, hit foul.
I like to call that cheerleading competition the Jimbo Davis Invitational.
Yeah, year in, year out. It's the Cougars on top. Richie in a battle here. In his 9 games that he has played, he's hitting .313, but he's going to take a big whiff at that one and strike out for the 6th time this season. Look at Boatwright, already tying a season high on strikeouts, 3 Ks and 1 2/3. Again, back in the first inning, it was Burgess who hit the leadoff double. And he ended up staying on second base the entire time. Strikeout, ground out, strikeout. And here was Yeager drawing the leadoff walk. With a fly out and a strikeout. He's got a chance to be stranded over there on first base.
Well, I don't know what Greg told him. I have a pretty good idea what he told him, and things have been different in this inning since then.
Just got to steer the boat in the right direction. It's hard. It's hard to find a guy out there that I'm happier for to be back there on the mound. Boatwright has been through so much, especially with injuries that he's battled his entire Cougar career, and so it's just it's great to see him. He's one of the fun-loving guys out there for CSU, and he's going to love to see that fly out into left field as he'll get out of the inning. So the leadoff double gets waxed out in the first inning. The leadoff walk, no dice for Lander either time. 2-0, Cougars still on top.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
I'm not sure if you heard or not, but our PA announcer just made an announcement, Scott, that today is the final day that the Girl Scouts are selling their Girl Scout cookies here.
I did
Just an FYI.
Yeah, I did see that online. I don't know why there's, if they've got boxes left over, I don't know why there's an end date for the selling.
Matthew McDade to lead things off here as he hits that one high in the sky, and the third baseman, Wager, calls everyone off for out number 1. Yeah, there should be no shelf, no time limit on Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Connor Curley up at the plate here for CSU.
Now batting number 13, Connor Curley.
His start to his sophomore campaign, no sophomore slump here for Curley. And he's essentially made it back-to-back leadoff hitters for CSU with his .346 average, and a guy that just continually finds a way on the base paths. Schlegel seems to have corrected a few things as he's gotten the Cougars to slow things down a bit. The strikeout, fly out, and now a pop up by Matthew McDade, his last 3 batters. That pitch is high, ball 3. So Curley way ahead in the count here. Should be sitting here on 3-0. Here's pitch number 4, and that one gets in there for a strike.
Connor wearing number 13 brings back some memories. It was the number worn by Columbus State Hall of Fame baseball coach Derek Mann. No superstition, either one, I guess.
That one is popped up, so another pop-up, this one in foul territory. An easy play to make there by Wager. Well, the current coach, Greg Appleton, in his 23rd season this year, over 800 wins, one of the storied coaches here at Columbus State, and really throughout all of Division II baseball. 23 years. He's in his Michael Jordan year. That just clicked in my head there. Something special. Two quick outs. David Meadows back out there. He singled in his first at-bat. Eventually came around to score one of the 2 runs that Columbus State has put up there.
So how old were you when Greg coached his first CSU game?
So what are we in? We're in 2020. 10. Right? That would be, nope, 9. David Meadows gets hit, second batter that's been hit. 9 years old when Coach Appleton was here at Columbus coaching.
That sort of puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does. You know, I never thought about it like that.
I was only a few years older than that, so yeah.
Just a couple. Just a couple. 9 years old. I don't know, what grade are you in 9? 4th? Maybe 3rd, 4th grade? Wow.
Depending on how many times you repeated second grade.
Yeah. I was still in 2nd grade. Some of us just take a couple years. Boughton over to 3rd base. Well, after the pop-ups that Wager had corralled, tries to backhand that grounder, and it just pops out of his glove. Error there from the 3rd baseman. It's going to let Boughton head on over to first base.
Now batting number 19, Bubba Good.
Unfortunately for Schlegel and the Bearcats, that keeps this inning alive and brings Robert Brooks to the plate. He was the first batter that was hit by a Schlegel pitch this afternoon. A comebacker goes right back to Schlegel, bounces out of his glove, and he underhand tosses it over to first. So the error doesn't do any damage for the Bearcats. Score remains 2-0. Cougars on top. Let's head to the third on Cougar Sports TV.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than
We're back here on Cougar Sports TV as we've entered the third inning of play. Jamie Boatwright back out there for CSU. Wager to lead things off here for the Bearcats. Well, a quick update for you. We've been following our men's tennis team that's in the National Indoor Championships down in Oklahoma City. They took the doubles point. Came down to the top court in a tiebreaker, and CSU, in thrilling fashion, came out on top. Regalado and Cueto, the duo up there at doubles number one. So
that's a great start, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cougars on top heading into singles play. 1-1 the count.
Elsewhere around the league, told you that Georgia College hit North Georgia with 5 in the first and at the top of the second. Same score now. Flagler, 12-0 over Augusta after 5.
Got some high-scoring games.
North Carolina, Pembroke 10, Claflin 1 after in the bottom of the second, playing at Pembroke.
There's a foul ball there.
And top of the second, Young Harris leading Francis Marion 2-1 over in Florence.
There's a score that's more like it. Low-scoring game, 2-1. That one hit high. Look at Boughton ranging over. Not going to get there in time. High off the mound. It took a hop there as Boughton corralled it.
Boatwright tried to make the play, a behind-the-back stab, but it got past Jamie and took a really high hop. If it had not taken such a high hop, perhaps Isaac still could have gotten there and made the play, but beat it out.
Yeah, we've seen Boughton make a couple plays like that already this season. I learned very quickly early on to not doubt him. Never doubt Robert Brooks' arm behind the plate either. How about that? Another runner gunned down by Robert Brooks. We've seen him do that all season long.
He put that right on the bag.
Lander has had their struggles attempting to steal bases this year. They're just 10 for 19 now. Almost 50, just a little lower, 50%. So that wipes the runner out over there at first base. 0-2 the count here.
Still takes a little getting used to after all these years to see regular season games with 3 umpires.
There's a ball that's hit high in the foul territory. It's going to track towards the Bearcat dugout and take a hop there. Bryson Horn was giving chase. Yeah, it's good to see 3 out there. You also want to make sure that they're always coming together and making the right calls and helping each other out.
Let's be honest, numbers don't increase quality, but at least you start with the numbers, and 3's better than 2, and
sure.
So it's what we're doing in conference now.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Well, so far it's been a clean game to open things up here in the first couple of innings. 1-2 the count, that one inside. Matthew Burgess, the one back up here at the plate. Hit his 4th double of the season as the leadoff hitter in this game, but he was stranded over there on second base after Boatwright got 3 consecutive outs. A little whiff there, and he went around. Another strikeout for Jamie Boatwright. He's feeling it this afternoon.
Now batting, number 8, Josh Gregory.
So a runner caught stealing in Wager, and now a strikeout from Burgess means we got 2 outs and bases empty. Gregory back up at the plate, and he already struck out his first time up.
"50 pitches for Jamie at this point.
That one hit well into left field. It's going to drop in. A base knock there for Gregory as he'll head on over to first base. Keeps this inning alive with a 2-out single.
It was a nice job by Dane. He got a good jump on that ball in left and got to it. He was shaded over towards center. He got to it to cut it off and hold him to a long single.
Yeah, needed to, because Gregory is one of the players on this Lander squad with a lot of speed. Now Boatwright will be watching him closely. We saw his speed out there in right field on one of those controversial calls in yesterday's Cougar win when he made a grab in the outfield, fell to the ground, and the ball went flying to the dugout.
So that was obviously not an out, right?
Considered usually by most, I believe, to not be an out if you don't complete the catch. I wasn't aware that we were going to have some NFL what's a catch, what's not a catch turn into play here at Ragsdale Field, but it did, and it was ruled a catch out there in right field. I think my favorite part about that call was on the way back. So Coach App had walked all the way out to right field, casually walked all the way out to right field, have a word with the umpire out there. And the ball was still in the grass where it had landed after it flew out of his glove. It flew out of his glove all the way towards the dugout. And it was still there. And then Greg, as he's walking back, just picks it up. Oh, hey, here's where the ball is. Here's where it landed. Turned around and then tossed it to the mound. 1-2, the count. A swing and a miss there. Jamie Boatwright, another strikeout. So a runner has gotten on all 3 innings, and Jamie Boatwright doing work out there on the mound records a strikeout to send us to the bottom of the 3rd.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
because we can. Learn more and take the pledge. at itsonus.org.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Five strikeouts already for Jamie Boatwright on the mound. He's given up just 3 hits and no earned through 3 innings of play. Cougars on top 2-0 here on Cougar Sports TV. We appreciate y'all joining us here this afternoon as the Cougars going for the Sunday sweep of the Bearcats of Lander. I'm Corey Aldous, Scott Miller alongside. As Bryson Horn sends one exactly where he did his first time up at the plate into right field for a leadoff single this time.
Just a nice, easy swing and dropping it out and right again.
It's something that I've learned to appreciate with Bryson Horn at the plate is he does have power, and he certainly can hit it out every time he's up there at the plate, but many times he's takes what he's given and he just sends a single into right field and heads on over to first and takes his base. It's not always swinging for the fences. Drew Webb up there for CSU on 1 the count. That pitch is hit well into center field. Center fielder Ritchie going all the way back. He's at the warning track, and he's going to make the grab just in front of the wall as he grazes his back on it. Drew Webb, feet shy of hitting a 2-run to dead center. Brings Dane Bullock to the plate. Well, he's got a runner on the base paths. Torn over there on first as he looks at a strike to start this at bat. Schlegel sends that pitch in, and it's driven into left center field towards the gap out there as it's going to go just in front of the warning track. Chasing it down was Ritchie. It's a double for Dane Bullock. Moves Horn over to third base. That's a good piece of hitting there from Dane Bullock. Another extra base knock for the senior. That's his 7th double this season.
Good hustle in the second. Got in just ahead of the throw back in there.
It puts 2 on in scoring position here for CSU, and Will Wilbanks will be the one at the plate. We watched Wilbanks hit a bloop single for an RBI earlier this season, or earlier this series.
Well, he's the key man in the inning right now. Just got to put it in play somewhere. Try to get that runner home from third at the very least.
It's Horn on third, Bullock on second. Wilbanks, just out in front of that one as he sends it foul. Wilbanks, the left-handed hitter from Noonan, Georgia. Big addition to this Cougar lineup after he saw very limited action in his freshman year. Similar to Connor Curley, now being called upon by Coach Appleton, and both him and Curley have stepped up to the plate. Like the first inning, Schlegel in some trouble here for Lander. Here's the 1-2. It's in the dirt. Got a good turnout here on this Sunday afternoon here at Ragsdale Field. Weather is nice. Clouds have started to kind of shade out that sun a bit. A lot warmer than it's been for the past couple of weekends here. 2-2 the count. Wilbanks is ready. That pitch is chopped towards first. You said it. Just put it in play, but it went straight to the first baseman, Dupert, and did not allow Horan a chance to come on home.
Well, I mean, once you hit it, you can't guide it. You just put it in play and hope it's not right at someone. But unfortunately, that time it was right at Dupert.
He didn't even have to move, unfortunately. And a good play by Dupert to look off Horn over at third and get the second out. Well, here's Matthew McDade with 2 on in scoring position. He popped up to Wager his first time up. He's had some trouble over there at third base. Yesterday, McDade ripped what appeared to be a double. Instead, it was ruled not after it bounced off the bag, and there's going to be the third and final out. So the Cougars, they can't get any runs across after they had runners on second and third with 1 out. Let's head to the top of the fourth here on Cougar Sports TV.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
We head to the top of the fourth inning with a 2-0 lead for CSU. Jamie Boatwright back out on the mound. Jamie has been outstanding through the first 3 innings. Really had a fine outing last Sunday. Rory Glanton, the left fielder, struck out swinging. His first time up, takes the pitch outside for ball 1. Boatwright gets a sign from Roberts, and Glanton asks for time, and it's granted by the plate umpire. Jamie kicks and fires, fouled it off right at the plate. 1-1.
It's 5 strikeouts already for Boatwright. Obviously a new career high, but he's been really good with his pitch selection and his location this afternoon.
In on his hand, slice down the right field line. Webb over just in fair territory to make the catch just short of the track. Drew got a good jump on that one. 1 down here in the fourth inning.
Love to watch the speed that we have in the outfield. We've seen Curley make some plays out there in center, and just yesterday we saw Drew Webb make another fantastic play out there in right field. He's always hustling out there for CSU.
Here's Colton Yeager, the second baseman. He walked his first time. First pitch swinging, fly ball to center field, and Connor Curley is there for a couple of quick outs here in the fourth inning.
And there's that other guy, Curley. You know, yesterday I was talking in postgame with Coach Appleton, and a ball had been hit foul towards the bullpen of Lander, and all Coach Appleton could think in his head, and what he was saying was, please don't go after that one, because Drew Webb kind of goes after balls recklessly, and he'll fly for them. And he was flying, and he ended up brushing the bench out there, which could be something that could really kind of chop your legs out there. And he brushed the bench as he was diving for a ball that went towards the bullpen. Took Coach Appleton's breath away there for a second. He was a little worried.
So Bradley Davis having a conversation with the third base coach. Now he's in there and ready. First pitch in there for a strike. He's 0 for 1. Cougars on top 2-0. Fastball just misses outside. And the count is even here at 1-1. Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field on a Sunday afternoon, looking for another sweep. In on his hands, fouled it straight down. And a ball and 2 strikes. The Bearcat catcher steps back in there. The pitch tried to get him to chase one. It was way outside, laid off of it. 2-2. Jamie ready to go again. The left-hander kicks and fires. That off-speed pitch is way outside, so that runs the count full at 3-2. He's walked one to go with those 5 strikeouts. And the payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strikeout number 6. And the Bearcats go down 1-2-3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Cougars.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with
Connor Curley will lead it off as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here with the Cougars up 2-0. Connor popped to the third baseman his first time up. Carson Schlegel gets the sign, and the right-hander kicks and fires. Connor shows bunt and takes a strike on the outside corner. That had the third baseman Wager really charging in.
He was ready for that one. We've seen that happen a couple times already.
Wager is a step back now. He is on the infield grass. The 0-1 hit into the gap in right center. Center fielder going back. It's going to hang up for him, and Bo Ritchie gets there to grab it for out number 1.
Yeah, I thought that was going to have a chance to drop out there in right center field, but you said it hung up just a tad bit too much there from Curley.
Here's David Meadows. He singled, stole a base, scored a run in the first inning, was hit by a pitch in the second.
So you're saying he's had quite the day already.
Filling up the score sheet. Breaking ball stayed in. Anybody that has a Steve Miller walk-up song is okay with me. Cousin Steve.
Can't go wrong there.
I wish.
Steven Scott.
The 1-0 stayed a little high with the breaking ball. 2-0. Well, March Madness begins for our 2 basketball teams on Wednesday, as the first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament will be played. The 2-0 right back up the middle into center field for a base hit. So David on for the 3rd straight time. Speed at first here with 1 down in the 4th inning. And it'll bring up the shortstop Isaac Boughton. Walked and scored in that 2-run first inning and reached on an error. Cougars need to get some more runs here. Had a chance to get more than 2 in the first and didn't. Had a couple of more chances, but...
Well, you may have a chance here. If Meadows can swipe another bag, he's already got 6 stolen bases, a perfect 6 for 6 on the season.
He's got a good lead over there. And there he goes. Big jump, and the throw down, no chance to get him. He stole that one on Schlegel. Had a huge jump and another stolen base.
He said it, big jump. Wasn't even close. Meadows picks up stolen base number 7. He reminds me of what we saw last year with Kendall Ford on the base paths. When you get on, it's almost an automatic double as he heads on over to second base.
I don't understand pitchers that don't try to at least disrupt him just a little bit.
It didn't even look like Schlegel even looked over. He didn't even care about him at first.
All right, so runner in scoring position and 1 down here in the 4th. Cougars looking for a little insurance, a little 2-0 lead. Check of the runner out at second, and now...
Oh, now he's gonna take a peek at him.
Schlegel
okay.
Steps off of the rubber.
All right.
He said, I knew there was something I was supposed to remember.
Just wait till he gets in scoring position.
Second baseman's cheating over toward the bag, so there's a big hole between first and second. The pitch is downstairs. And it's a ball and a strike, and that's going to get Davis out to the mound to have a chat with Schlegel. So, yeah, March Madness, Peach Belt Conference Tournament. First round is on Wednesday. The women, Lady Cougars, will be hosting. And the brackets are not out yet officially, but they will be hosting on Wednesday. The men will be on the road on Wednesday at USC Aiken. Times have not been set either. I'll be on the road with the men here on Cougar Sports TV. You'll hear the audio, and Corey will be at home with the video with the Lady Cougars on Wednesday night.
It's great to see both of our teams back in action in the postseason.
Check of the runner. The pitch gets away from the catcher. There goes David to third, and he's in there. He gets over on the wild pitch.
Look at you breaking the news on the releasing of the brackets with both of our Cougar teams in action. Like I said, not much of a better time than right now. Postseason is here for the Cougar basketball squads.
Well, there was no tiebreaker involved for the men, so that was an easy one to go over. There's a ground ball right at the third baseman. He backhands. He's got the runner caught in a rundown. Catcher's going to throw back to the shortstop behind him, and he'll put the tag on him as they'll move up to second base after that. But caught in a rundown and out at third.
You weren't here this weekend until today, but that play is now the third time that we've seen that happen. Once for each team, happened in the same game in the opener, once for each team where a runner on third base, and the ball is hit directly to the third baseman. And I don't know if, maybe Meadows is a fast guy, and it happened to Curley the first time back on Friday. And so you look at those two batters and you say maybe it's a run automatically on contact, maybe that's what Coach Collins is telling them. But each of those scenarios, it went straight to the third baseman, and you're going to get out pretty much every time there.
Here's Robert Brooks, first pitch swinging. He got under it, and he drove it to center field, to the wall. It is gone. Robert Brooks, first pitch swinging, hits a high drive that clears the wall in left center field. Robert rounding the bag at third. His teammates are at the plate to greet him, and the Cougars do not waste the scoring opportunity in this inning thanks to Robert Brooks' two-run shot.
That is a patented Robert Brooks home run. Hit it way high in the air and just let it carry on out of here just over the wall. Only the second home run this season for Brooks.
And here is Bryson Horn, couple of singles on the afternoon. Pitches in there for a strike. So the Cougars, thanks to Robert, doubled the lead here. It's 4-0. That was a Ruthian clout, high and deep. Sharply hit foul down the first base side. So there's, so the men's basketball team on the road at Aiken. You can book that one.
Put it in writing.
And the Lady Cougars will be at home. And there was a tiebreaker involved with Aiken and Francis Marion for the opponent. Pitch is fouled back to the screen. And if my tie-breaking math is correct, both teams are going to be playing USC Aiken. But
I don't know. That depends. Is math a strong suit for you?
now you're getting personal. But that is not official, so the 0-2 is lifted high into the air in left center field. The center fielder, Ritchie, calling off Glanton, and he's got it for the third out of the inning, but not before the Cougars put two on the board. A two-run home run off the bat of Robert Brooks, and CSU leads it 4-0.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
We head to the fifth, and CSU on top of Lander 4-0, looking for the sweep here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. And the bottom third of the order due up against Jamie Boatwright. Bo Ritchie takes the first strike in there for a called strike, first pitch for a strike, and Jamie, 6 strikeouts to go and 1 walk on the afternoon. The 0-1 is fouled away. 0-2. You mentioned it earlier, but yeah, you couldn't be more happy for Jamie. battled the injuries all these years, and he is healthy, pitching well in the weekend rotation. The 0-2, swing and a miss, struck him out.
Another strikeout already for Jamie Boatwright. The guy who's just, yeah, you said it, battled injuries, been played with them, and season-ending ones all throughout his career. Just been very limited in what feels like he's been here for, I don't know, since I came here 4 years ago. I feel like he was there and redshirted, out for the year, got a couple of innings in back in 2018. He just has never really been fully healthy. So it's great to see him back out there.
First pitch to Dupert, misses for ball one. He flied to left his first time up. Lefty on lefty. Backed him off the plate with that one, but inside. 2-0. So we're talking about the basketball. Those are the first round games. If they advance, they'll move on. Pitch misses outside, and it's 3-0 to the number 8 hitter. And the semifinals and finals this year will be played at the women's highest seed remaining after Wednesday night. There's a strike, 3-1. Lander will have the number 1 seed, even though they lost yesterday. He thought that was going to create an interesting tiebreaker, but North Georgia also lost a game back of them. Pitch is popped up down toward our bullpen. A long run for everyone and a diving attempt by Matthews there, and he came up way empty.
He tried to show the ump, though. I don't know. Some of the balls that have been flying out in right field yesterday, I don't know. It's a good sell job. Everyone's having a laugh at that one.
So he's battled back to run the count full now after being behind 3-0. The payoff pitch on the way, in on his hands, and he rolled it foul over toward the dugout.
That was just a fantastic pitch there by Boatwright, and great job just barely to stay alive there by Dupert.
Jamie again working quickly, and the payoff pitch is downstairs for ball 4. Jamie not happy with that at all. Takes a walk off the mound. And there's a one-out walk, his second of the afternoon. Well, I would say that it's time for a double play.
We've already seen what we lead the nation in with sac flies. That happened earlier in the first inning with Drew Webb. You're right. It's about time we see what we also lead the nation in.
Pitch to Wager is had him out on his front foot, fouled it straight down. Wager singled and was caught stealing in his first at bat. So Boatwright trying to have another shutdown inning after the Cougars doubled the lead to 4. Pitch is hit high in the air to right field. Don't worry about it. Drew Webb is under it, short of the track for out number 2.
Well, you say don't worry about it. We watched out there in right field before Harold got hurt when he banged up against the wall, chasing down what turned out to be that inside the park home run. We watched a routine fly ball just like that. It's one of the first times that I've seen that here in this ballpark just pop out of his glove. Just bounced straight off his glove out there in right field.
Back to the top of the order, and Burgess, and that was a very weak swing as he tied him up inside, and 0-1.
Got the sword action happening down there with Burgess.
Burgess doubled his first time up and then struck out swinging in the third. He doubled to start the game. Off-speed pitch misses outside, and it's 1-1. One pitch, strike on the outside corner with the fastball. Burgess didn't think so. He steps out shaking his head, but there's only one guy that matters in that. So 2 down, runner leads from first, and the 1-2 pitch just stayed alive right off the end of the bat. Count stays at 1-2. Wind blowing out to right center at the moment. Got the flags out that way. There's a line drive, same place he hit it in the first inning, and into left field for a base hit. So 2-out trouble here. First and second.
Now batting, number 8, Josh Gregory.
For Josh Gregory, a strikeout victim swinging in the first. He singled in the third. .78 pitches for Jamie Boatwright here in the fifth. There's a line drive in the gap. That's trouble. That's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to send the runner to the plate. The throw comes to third, not in time. And the Bearcats are on the board. 4-1 CSU on the RBI single by Gregory. Takes second on the throw.
Well, I think you really got to go back to the at-bat, at least the plate appearance by Duper. Boatwright almost struck him out. Duper just barely staying alive on that pitch that he fouled off, and then he came back with the walk. And since then, they've been able to string together a couple of hits, finally on the board.
Well, this is a big moment in the game right here. Mike Fitzgen, if he can steer a base hit, might get him to within one. First pitch swinging, fouled away over the right side. 0-1. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded the short, struck out swinging. So just got to do some damage control here. Hold him to 1 run. They've got second and third, 2 down. 0-1 pitch. A beauty on the outside corner. 0-2. All right, so Jamie's ahead in the count, 0-2. Runners lead from second and third, 2 down. The 0-2 pitch rolled it to second. Second baseman fields, throws, and he got him. Matty making the play easily there. And so, indeed, some damage control by Jamie Boatwright. They pick up a run, the Bearcats do, but strand 2. We go to the bottom of the fifth. 4-1, Cougars on top.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools. For nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay, get in the way, and disrupt the
Bottom of the fifth, Cougars up 4-1 here, looking for the 3-game sweep against Lander. And Drew Webb, Dane Bullock, and Will Wilbanks due up. Drew had a sacrifice fly RBI in the first inning to center, and they fly to center again his second time up, deep to center, I might add, up against the Cougar out at the wall out there. 1-0. We've got a game time set for the Wednesday home game for the women's basketball team, first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. It will be a 5:30 first toss time, and so that keeps it normalized from what they played during the regular season. So 5:30, Peach Belt Conference first round action for the Lady Cougars here at home on Wednesday. Ground ball to the third baseman. Wager Fields throws, and he got him.
Man, I like sitting next to you. You had the inside scoop on who the Lady Cougars are playing before the official bracket has been released. Now you're going to tell me a time that they're playing at, too?
Well, stick around, buddy. We might talk lottery numbers later in the...
Sign me up here.
There's Dane Bullock.
Scoop. Sit next to Mr. Scott Miller.
The only scoop I'm usually good at is that double scoop of ice cream.
Ain't no shame in that.
Breaking ball on the inside corner. Dane for a strike. He doubled his last time up and struck out swinging in the first inning. So, yeah, I'll be on the basketball bus again coming up in a couple of days.
Making the trip out to Aiken.
Hopefully there'll be more trips for both teams. There's a shot in the gap that's going to get down in right center, go all the way to the wall. Dane motors into second and is in there standing with a one-out double.
Another double for Pollock.
Here's Will Wilbanks. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Scott Miller and Corey Aldis with you here on Cougar Sports TV. Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field as the Cougars look for another conference series sweep here. Leading 4-1 in the bottom of the fifth. Need to keep tacking on some runs here, fellas. Pitch is hit high into the air in medium left field. Glanton had him shaded that way, and he's under it, and he's got it for the second out.
Well, we mentioned earlier a couple of statistical categories that the Cougars lead in, and you just mentioned them sitting atop the Peach Belt Conference standings. How about Dane Bullock hitting his 8th double of the year? Puts him atop the Peach Belt in doubles hit this season.
Good for Dane. Let's get him in now. Let's make him run. What do you say, Matty?
Get those afterburners on him.
Matt looking for his first hit of the day. Popped to third, ground out to second. 2 down here in the fifth, and he rips one just past Coach Patrick Collins, who nonchalantly watches it go by.
That one, for sure, foul, unlike the one that he hit yesterday that bounced off the third base bag that ended up being ruled foul.
Yeah, that's hard to do. That's I didn't see it in person, but I would think that usually would be hard to do if it hits the third base bag and it's called foul.
I think the only reason that it was extremely disheartening and, like you said, hard to do, third base ump was over at third base, so he was a foot away.
There's no excuse. I mean, we talk about added a third umpire for the regular season conference games this year, and that's one of the reasons, because with 2 umpires, a lot of times they're out of position, and it's not their fault at all. But no, that's certainly was not the case. Ground ball fouled over toward our dugout.
Certainly didn't help that you also had Coach Collins 1 foot away from the umpire sharing his opinion about the missed call. All right, our assistant coaches got some work in yesterday, Coach Collins and Coach Stiers.
Patrick and Sammy have been known to share an opinion or two on the baseball diamond. Long-time great assistant coaches for Coach Greg Appleton. Such a stable staff. There's a line drive down the right field line. Trouble if it's fair, and it is just foul. Just missed extra bases and another run.
You've been here a lot longer than I have, so I'm sure that you've seen some fun expression of opinions from Coach Sammy Stiers. I was talking about it with Coach App afterwards, and I haven't been able to see him get as animated as apparently he got in the past. So I was telling Coach App that's the most animated I've ever seen Sammy. He's jumping up, throwing his arm, saying some nice words towards the umpire, and he just laughed and chuckled.
The stories I could tell about Sammy, but I won't. Breaking ball in the dirt, and that's going to get Bullock over the third on the wild pitch. And a ball and 2 strikes.
Coach Stires said, I know what the limit is now. So he knew that he wasn't. I thought he maybe was going to be close to pushing the limits there, but apparently not.
So Sammy said he knows what the limits are.
He knows what the limits are.
Yeah, I can believe that. He's been there and back. It's one of the things I love about this staff too. I mean, they're passionate. In addition to being very knowledgeable. The 1-2 ground ball to the shortstop. Makes the play, throws to first, and Schlegel gets out of it without the run scoring here as Burgess made the play and the throw for out number 3. So we played 5, and the Cougars on top 4-1.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay, get in the way, and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's more than a whistle or a call. We're committed to giving college athletes
All right, Jamie Boatwright out there in the 6th inning for another round. 4-1, Cougars on top, and Glanton, Yeager, and Davis due up here. Glanton 0 for 2 on the afternoon. We're glad you're watching on Cougar Sports TV, wherever you may be. My sister Glenda checks in from North Carolina watching this afternoon. The pitch misses outside for ball 1. Thanks for watching, sis. Appreciate it. Up in the great state of North Carolina. Downstairs, 2-0. Brother David watching up in the Atlanta area, as he usually is. The pitch misses outside, 3-0. So we're increasing the viewership just inside my family.
I'm enjoying this.
3-0 is in there for a strike.
From the great state of Georgia.
From the greatest state, Georgia.
It's now the greatest. I'm from Houston, Texas, and Texas people
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
have their own thoughts about the state of Texas, how passionate they are. But we named my newborn daughter, this past week, Georgia.
I know.
So I believe that maybe now I have to move Georgia up the list. I don't know if it's surpassed Texas yet, but it's making its way up.
I gave you and Cassie kudos last weekend on the broadcast. Was it last weekend or 2 weekends ago?
Last weekend, yeah.
Last weekend on the broadcast about the name. That's awesome. And she's a sweet-looking baby.
A little Georgia peach.
So third walk issued by Jamie. The pitch is downstairs. And gets our bullpen up and going. Well, my sister Glenda, who now lives in North Carolina, she was born and was raised in Georgia and raised up in the Atlanta area, but she has lived most of her adult life in the Dallas area, where the pitch misses
All
downstairs, and that's where my brother-in-law Greg is from. And then they several years ago moved to Colorado, and I think got tired of the tough winters, perhaps, and headed
go from Texas to Colorado. That's quite the change there.
And headed back east, southeast, over to North Carolina. So the plate jumping around on Jamie here all of a sudden in the 6th inning. And that one is going to miss. And it's 3-0. So he walked the leadoff man in a 4-1 Cougar game. And now 3-0 on Yeager, who walked in the 2nd. There's a fastball strike on the outside corner, 3-1. Yeager, the second baseman, digs back in there. The 3-1 pitch, that's in the dirt, nowhere near. It bounced a couple of feet in front of the plate. So back-to-back walks here in the 6th inning, and here comes Coach Greg Appleton, and he's already made the move. Already made the move to the bullpen, and we'll take this break for a pitching change break here on Cougar Sports TV.
We're committed to giving college athletes a fair shot, on and off the field. Covering the full cost of attendance, because college costs go beyond tuition. Keeping dreams on track, regardless of performance or injury. And creating equal opportunities and inclusive environments. It's about respecting college athletes and prioritizing fairness to build a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face. You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
So the new Cougar pitcher is Noah Windhorst, right-handed freshman, 6'1", 175, out of Pike County High School in Griffin.
Saw Windhorst last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. He came in relief for Devin Dudall. How about Noah Windhorst? Back-to-back days coming in for the starter once he's come out.
Quite a role for the freshman. First pitch swinging, hits it into the air in center field. Curley has a beat on it, under it, makes the catch. Runner will tag from second and go to third. And runners on the corners and one down.
How about that to build your confidence, though, coming straight out of the bullpen? First pitch fly out to center field. He was a little bit shaky in yesterday's win. And he came in relief for Dudall, gave up a single and a walk, had 2 on before he got a couple of flyouts.
And here is Bo Ritchie. Oh for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. We're going to have a pinch runner, evidently, at third.
It's been that type of series where right now teams have just been trying to grind out some of these runs. Runs have been at a premium. We mentioned the 5 runs in the opening game, 5 runs in game 2. Here we are right now, sitting at 5 total runs.
This must be something more than just a replacement here, because both the coach and Glanton went to the dugout, and the coach was carrying his helmet.
Well, I had mentioned earlier about our CSU men's tennis team in action in the national championships for the ITA Indoor Championships. They took the doubles point. Right now they are in singles play, and it's pretty close. There's only been one singles court that has finished. Alvaro Regalado at singles number 1 picked up a huge win over a ranked opponent. So right now CSU is on top 2-0, but the other 5 singles courts are kind of neck and neck.
Huge match there. All right, Glenn stays in. Apparently it was a helmet issue, what it looked like. And so he's back at third, and there's the off-speed pitch from Windhorst that's in there for a called strike. So for the second straight inning, the Bearcats threatening. It was 4-0. They got a run last inning, 4-1 where we stand now, but first and third and just 1 down. Time for a little double play ball here would be just what the Cougar ordered. The fastball misses outside, 1-1. Sun breaking through the clouds here at Ragsdale Field. Pitches downstairs, 2-1. Right-hander in the Cougar bullpen. The 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, just stayed high, I guess. 3-1. That was one of those from the press box. It looks like it missed right down the middle. So the 3-1 pitch is ripped into left field for a base hit. That's going to get 1 run in, and Bullock will get the ball back in, and the runner from first will stop at second. And it's 4-2 CSU. First and second, still just 1 down. Jumped all over that one.
Yeah, right now if you're Windhorst, you're just trying to limit the damage, looking for any out that you can secure here without any more runs coming across. Keep this at still a 2-run lead here for the Cougars.
Here's Dupert. He had a big at bat with 1 out in the last inning, the 5th inning, drew a walk, came around to score their first run. Pitch is fouled back to the screen.
So good news, you do have the bottom of the lineup, but we actually did see Dupert come in and when he just came in for a pinch hit in yesterday's game, and he lined one into left field.
And he lines one foul down the right field line there. Just got out in front of it a little bit. So he's in the hole at 0-2. Bearcats have scored a run to cut the Cougar lead to 4-2. We play in the top of the 6th, first and second, and just 1 down. Dupert asked for time, and it's granted by the plate umpire. And the pitch, that misses away. Ball and 2 strike. Good pitch with 2 strikes. Try to get him chase one a little off the plate, laid off of it. Bearcat runners lead from first and second, and the pitch popped him up on the infield. Third baseman Matthews at the shortstop position makes the catch. A little lunge at the end of it to haul it in, but a big second out.
Needed that if you're Windhorst on the mound, and now you can just get that one final out and get out of this jam, limit the damage done.
And the number 9 hitter, Justin Wager, he singled and was caught stealing in the 3rd, and he flied out to right in the 5th inning, the last inning. So they've really threatened here in these last 2 innings. Ground ball, Matthews at third will run to the bag and step on it. Good job by the freshman Noah Windhorst to come in and put out the fire here in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cougars on top, 4-2.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
Bottom of the sixth, Ragsdale Field, Burger King Stadium, 4-2, Cougars leading. Lander, new pitcher for the Bearcats, Marshall Thompson, 6'3", 180, right-handed junior out of Juliet, Georgia. And the first pitch misses, ball one.
So we've made it to the bullpen for each of these teams. And each of their starters going 5 innings, Boatwright 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned with 7 strikeouts. And Schlegel, he did a pretty good job after all of the runners that had gotten on early on there for CSU. 5 innings, 4 earned with 1 strikeout.
1-1 fastball, just missed it inside. Next pitch fouled away.
I give some kudos to the Cougar bats. This is a pitcher in Schlegel that came in with a sub-1 ERA, and they put 4 earned on him.
So the 2-2 on the way. It's high for ball 3. So let's see if we could get a fast man on here to start the sixth. Connor Curley working quickly, and we indeed will get the fast leadoff man on. High for ball 4.
One of the fastest base runners on this Cougar squad. I guess you could kind of say that for either the guy at first or the guy at the plate now. Back-to-back speedsters out there for CSU.
All right, David's been on all 3 times. Single, stolen base, scored a run, hit by a pitch, single, stolen base. Fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. So the Cougars need to tack on some more here. Still a ways to go, just in the bottom of the 6th with a 2-run lead. Curley gets his lead, and the pitch, swing and a miss, had him out in front on that one. And it's 0-2. Well, the official women's Peach Belt Conference tournament bracket has been released, and as we told you, USC Aiken will be the CSU opponent Wednesday night, 5:30 here in Columbus. Herbert Green Court at the Lumpkin Center, and there is a called third strike.
Must have had him fooled on that one because he just stared at that one that came right down the middle.
So 1 down. Here's Isaac Boughton looking for his first hit of the day. He's been on all 3 times, though. Walked and scored, reached on an error, got on a fielder's choice and scored a run. See if the Cougars put something on here. Straight steal, hit and run of some sort. First pitch is a strike. This kid has a good fastball out there. Marshall Thompson. There's a big hole on the right side of the infield that Isaac could steer one through. Swing and a miss. He wasn't trying to steer one through the right side with that swing. Almost came out of his shoes on that one. 0-2. Curley gets his lead. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Struck him out. Powered the fastball by him up and in. So 2 down after the leadoff walk. And that'll bring up Robert Brooks. He had a 2-run home run on the first pitch he saw his last time up in the 4th inning. He was hit by a pitch in the first, and that's the 32nd time in his career that he's been hit by a pitch. That's 3rd place all time. He almost got hit again with the breaking ball.
That might have been one of the few times that I've ever seen Brooks actually turn.
He doesn't want to get hit right now. He wants to hit another one.
That must be why.
Over
He's already hit
the
one,
wall.
so he needs another one.
Curley, it looked like he might have been going there, but he did not, as the pitch is high, 2-0.
We do have 1-2 home run game earlier this season from Bryson Horn. That was in the weekend series against UNC Pembroke back on Valentine's weekend.
Roberts' 2-run home run is the difference in the game right now. A 4-2 Cougar lead in the bottom of the 6th. Curley gets his lead, and the pitch stayed inside. 3-0.
3-0 count on a guy who's already hit 1 home run today on a guy who can mash him. I think Collins gives him the green light.
We're about to find out, perhaps, if the pitch is close enough. The 3-0 is a breaking ball on the inside corner. That's a nasty pitch right there.
Couldn't have thrown it or placed it any better than that.
All right, so Robert now still in the driver's seat here, ahead 3-1. Curley gets his lead, the 3-1, fastball nowhere near inside, and didn't appear to want any part of Robert Brooks in that at bat.
It doesn't get any easier if you're going to go from Robert Brooks over to Bryson Horn.
So Bryson Horn has a couple of singles to right field today, 2 for 3, with the fast man Curley at second. And with 2 down, a base hit into the outfield anywhere, just about guaranteed to get a run home. Swing and a miss. He was late on that one. Second baseman is playing way out into the right field grass. Bryson digs in there. The 0-1 pitch, fastball misses inside, and it's 1-1. Perhaps 4 is enough, but it would sure make me feel better if we could tack on another 1 or 2 or 3 or 10. While you're wishing. To the belt, checks the runner, and to the plate. Strike. Bryson didn't think much of that call, backed away, shaking his head. A ball and 2 strikes. Runners lead from first and second, and the pitch. Fastball missed high and away. 2-2.
Again, I think a very underappreciated role with Bryson Horn at the plate is the way that he's able to work these counts. Just a real patient batter up there for the Cougars this year.
He's evened it up. Runners lead first and second. Shortstop cuts in behind the runner at second, and now the pitch misses way outside. 3-2, so that'll get the runners off and running. A full count pitch due with 2 outs, and the Cougars up by 2, 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Bryson steps back in there. Thompson has the sign. And the payoff pitch as the runners go is on the way. Hit into the air in center field. Center fielder going back, still going back, still going back, still going back. That ball is gone over the center field wall just to the right of the 403 sign. Bryson Horn, a 3-run bomb. His teammates are at the plate to greet him. And just like that, he's blown the game open here at 7-2 Cougars in the 6th.
Wow. That one just carried and carried and carried. And the center fielder, Richie, out there, I thought originally it was going to be a fly ball that was in front of the warning track. And then all of a sudden, boom, dead center. Bryson Horn's having himself a series.
And here is Drew Webb. First pitch, swing and a miss. Well, you said you wanted some offense, my friend.
You brought it.
The 0-1 bounced up there. 1-1. So the 2 walks in front of Bryson Horn, and then the line drive home run. You're right, man. That ball just kept carrying. Swing and a miss. A ball and 2 strikes. Never got too much higher than the outfield fence. 1-2 is high, and it's 2-2. So the Cougars with 3 crooked numbers up on the board today. Fouled over to the dugout. And solo runs for the Bearcats in the 5th and 6th. 2-2 pitch, trying to check his swing, and was not able to do so. Ball in the dirt, picked up and thrown to first to complete the strikeout for out number 3, but not before Bryson Horn with his 3-run home run has put the Cougars on top 7-2 as we head to the 7th.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Welcome back here on Cougar Sports TV. We are into the top of the 7th inning. CSU now on top 7-2 after that bomb from Bryson Horn. That's a way to extend the lead and keep yourselves in line to potentially pick up the series sweep. 1-1 the count. Windhorse back out there for the Cougars. There's a strike that's called on the inside. So Landa running out of outs here. They've got the top of the lineup coming back up for the 4th time today. Burgess, a couple of hits on the day. 2 for 3 with a strikeout. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out for the 2nd time today. Back to the dugout goes Burgess, 1 down. Want a clean inning here for the Cougars after they put those 3 runs up on the board in the bottom or in the top frame. Smart play by Meadows just to let that roll foul. Great job by Meadows as that one just kept rolling, and eventually trickled foul. Already 1 down as Gregory was just trying to find a way onto the base paths there. 0-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. Off speed and got him swinging through that one, 0-2. Way ahead in the count and sends it right down the middle for strike number 3. Back-to-back Ks recorded by Windhorse up there on the mound. 2 quick outs. Well, it is official for all of you Cougar fans out there. The men's tennis team has won the inaugural ITA Men's Team Indoor 2020 Championship at the Division II level. A huge shout out to our Cougars. How about this? A 4-0 sweep of Barry. They ran the table.
Nicely done. As we talked before, that's now become a really big rivalry in Division II men's tennis. And how about a little indoor national championship to go with the NCAA national championship?
Surely would love one this upcoming May, and you may potentially see those exact same 2 teams in the NCAA final come May. Well, big congratulations to Coach Evan Isaacs for coming away with a national championship. Again, this is the first time that the ITA has done it at the Division II level. They've been doing it at the D1 level, but the Division II level, this is the first time the Indoor National Championships. They invited all of the top teams across the nation to come on down, top 8. And the Cougars come away with a national championship. A shout out to them as that ball just drops into no man's land for a 2-out single. One of the best coaches here at CSU, and Coach Isaacs has been here a long time, coaches both the men's and women's tennis teams. By the way, the women's team, they actually fell victim in the 3rd place game. They lost to Nova Southeastern 4-2.
Yeah, it was a tough match. Went to the final court, did it?
Yep.
Yeah.
But hopefully both of those 2 teams will have an opportunity. This was just kind of the precursor for those 2 teams. And I love having that indoor national championship in the very beginning of March, end of February, beginning of March, because you basically get a preview for what's to come at the NCAAs. Get a chance to fill your squad out.
Yeah, and it gives you another 2 or 3 matches against great competition just to hone yourself a little sharper there.
Especially for some of those newcomers on the team, some of the freshmen and new faces, because the Cougars and Lady Cougars have a lot of new faces on their tennis team this year, which, by the way, I still have yet to figure out all of their pronunciations because, my goodness, they're I just go by the first letter of their name as that one's hit into foul territory. Bryson Horn towards the fence, makes the grab for the 3rd out.
Boy, that was a nice play because look at the flags right now. The wind is really blowing and taking it toward the fence over there.
Couple of strikeouts and a pop-up in foul territory. Stretch it out. Let's head to the bottom of the 7th.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents.
Welcome back to Cougar Sports TV as we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7-2, Cougars on top, and we are looking to bust out the brooms. Offense will come up to the plate here for the Cougars with Dane Bullock to lead things off for CSU. A couple of doubles already. We mentioned that Dane now leads the Peach Belt Conference, 8 doubles on the season. Well, Scott, you brought the offense. Thank you very much, sir.
I do what I can.
7 runs here for CSU as Bullock hits one sharply to the third baseman. Right through the wickets. He'll be over there on first base. That was a hot shot over there to Wager. So the Cougars open up the inning with a runner over there on first base.
Georgia College trying to keep pace with the Cougars. They, on the strength of a 5 spot in the first inning, now lead 11-0 in the bottom of the 7th up at North Georgia.
Swing and a miss from Will Banks, who's up at the plate. It's been a lot of fun calling all of these games here at Ragsdale Field. I think I just got a little too used to it. I'm not sure I'm ready for all of the road games coming up. Cougars will hit the road next weekend, a 3-game set against Augusta, and then the following weekend they'll be on the road again against USC Aiken.
Yeah, I think ideally you'd like to see that spread out a little more than bunched together, but if you have them bunched together, it's nice to have them at the beginning of the season where you can set the tone. And they've had to take advantage of these early series at home, and they have certainly done that.
13-3 record overall, 7-1 inside the Peach Belt Conference, a chance to pick up their 8th conference win. And you mentioned it, just 3 losses, 3 slip-ups, one of them in a Sunday game against UNC Pembroke, the opener against Florida Southern, against one of the better pitchers inside of all of Division II, and then just the random game that everyone wants to forget about, the midweek game against Albany State. 2-2 the count. That pitch outside, ball 3.
By the way, welcome to the Peach Belt Conference Claflin in their first year as a member participating in the baseball as a conference member. First of all, they're 0-7 going into today's play in conference play, and they're losing 22-1 at UNCP in the bottom of the 6th.
22-1 in the 6th. That's a tough one. I believe I'm going to need to look this up. If I can pull Claflin's schedule up. I believe they lost 30-1 to a Peach Belt team. If I saw it on the schedule correctly, my mistake, 30-0. Pembroke. Oh, so Pembroke took the opener 30-0, and now you said they were up 22-1?
22-1 in the bottom of the 6th.
30-0 and 22-1. Well, I'm not
what was that middle game?
10-1. I'm not a mathematician, but they've been outscored 62-2.
Now batting number 4, Matthew Weekdays.
62-2. The Cougars and Claflin will do battle. Guess where it's at? Ragsdale Field. March 27th, 28th, and 29th.
Bring a lunch. Bring a lunch.
Do this. Coming off of a midweek game against Tuskegee. That's part of the part of the schedule that the Cougars actually roll in 9 straight home games. I mean, we got more home games that are stacked together near the end of March. We're going from March 20th all the way to April 1st here at Burger King Stadium. And that Georgia College series is going to be a massive one. That will happen the weekend before Claflin. It's a nice hit into left field by Matthew McDade. So he'll trot on over to first base. He has been so unlucky this entire series, so it's good to see the sophomore pick up a hit.
Now batting number 13, Connor Curley.
That brings Connor Curley up to the plate. 0 for 2. Did walk in one of his plate appearances and came around to score one of the 7 runs for CSU. He's up there with only 1 out. Shows bunt, pulls back. Praise Thorson, he's the pitcher up there right now for Lander, the 3rd pitcher now. That's coming to the game for the Bearcats.
Georgia Southwestern leading USC Aiken 2-0 in the top of the 8th in Americus.
Georgia Southwestern, 4 conference wins already.
Yeah,
4 and 4.
4 and 4. They were in Flagler down in St. Augustine when the basketball teams, our basketball teams, were down there, and we were staying at the same hotel as the Georgia Southwestern baseball team, and I believe they took the opening game of that series, and I don't know what happened in the last 2 games, but I know they took the opening game.
There's a swing there by Curley for strike number 2.
Yeah, so they're doing well. Young Harris leading Francis Marion 16-2 in the bottom of the 4th.
Again, we got some runs being put up there throughout the Peach Belt Conference.
Speaking of Flagler, they beat Augusta 12-2.
Oh, called 3rd strike on the outside. That's a great pitch sent in there by Thorson. Had Curley fooled.
Now batting number 7, David Meadows.
Well, Meadows struck out looking his last time up. But 2 for 3 on the day, a couple stolen bases and a run. Here comes the first pitch. That one stays inside for ball 1. One-0 pitch turned inside there by Meadows, but it's going to go towards the Cougar dugout, or a bullpen that has a couple pitchers just hanging out down there. See Lotta picking that one up.
Yeah, Jalen made the play on that one.
Job,
nonchalantly.
Jalen. Very stealthy. Mr. Quiet back there. That pitch called strike 1 and 2. Runners on first and second base here for CSU. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they already on top by 5 runs. That breaking ball stayed inside. It's a pitch that Thorson continues to go back to. Even count. Deuce is wild out there. 2-2 with 2 down. A swing and a miss. Meadows is going to strike out, and that'll be the 3rd out recorded. Let's head to the 8th inning. Cougars on top 7-2 on Cougar Sports TV.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieve a lot of the financial burden.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Top of the 8th inning here on Cougar Sports TV. 7-2, Cougars on top. Again, want to congratulate our men's tennis team for making history and winning the inaugural D2 Men's National Indoor Championship hosted by the ITA. Let's just keep things rolling here for Cougar Athletics. Got an indoor championship now in the books. Got our men's and women's basketball teams starting Peach Belt Conference tournament action according to our insider Scott Miller this upcoming Wednesday. We even got a start time, a tip-off time of 5:30 for the women. You have a tip-off time yet for the men's? Have your sources sent you any?
I do not. My sources in Aiken, South Carolina are not quite as good as they are here.
They're a little bit slow, huh?
Right.
All right.
Got to work on that. I'm hoping it will be fairly early for selfish reasons.
Ball hit well. Connor Curley makes it look easy out there in center field right on top of the warning track. You want that 5:30 start for the men's?
We would love that 5:30 start so we could get home. But if I had to guess, I'd say I'm going to hope for 7 instead of 7:30.
I feel you there. The only reason that I'm okay with a 7 or a 7:30 start is since it's at the same time as the women's, there'll be a lot happening here that I'll have to be up on. Makes things difficult when on social media when you've got multiple teams happening at the same time. Luckily, no midweek game this week for baseball, so how about that? It makes my life a little bit easier.
There you go.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Ooh, inside there, and it clipped the elbow guard of Richie, who will head on over to first base.
Had the protective gear in the right spot there.
Perfect spot. You could hear the little ding up here in the press box. Seen a couple of Cougars and Bearcats hit by a pitch this afternoon.
Well, he was way late on that swing.
Dupert, the one up there right now, he's had some troubles this afternoon. 0 for 2, a fly out and a pop-up. Makes good contact, though, there. Comes right back at me with a hard hit single into right. Claps away over there at first base. Very similar to what he did when he came into the game in yesterday's Cougar win as a pinch hitter. Hit a single right over there to right field. All right, trouble here on the base paths with 2 on. Runners on first and second. We'll see if Windhorst can work himself out of it. He's already done it so far. Watched him do it in the 7th inning when 2 were on. A single and a hit by pitch. Runners were all over in the 6th as well. It's Wager up there at the plate right now. The right-handed hitter swings and hits one hard. Well hit into left field. It's going to bounce up against the G on the Ragsdale Field sign out there. That'll plate 1 on the stand-up RBI double. Wager makes it a 7-3 ball game.
Now batting number 6, Matthew Moses.
Moves Dupert over to third base. Richie comes across and scores. And that's going to bring Coach Appleton out of the dugout and out towards the mound. Got a couple of pitchers warming up down in the bullpen, and it looks as though he's ready to make a change. So with that, we'll take a quick break. 7-3 the score. Pitching change coming up after this.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics.
Well, here we go. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Cougars make a pitching change as they are hanging on to a 7-3 advantage, but only one down, runners on second and third as Miles Dutton has come out of the bullpen to try to pick up a couple of outs here for CSU. Dutton making his 5th appearance this year for the Cougars. He's given up 3 earned in 6 2/3. Usually we see Miles Dutton on the back end of Jalen Lotta on Friday nights. Lotta pitched magnificent this past Friday night and just about went the distance before Keiss came in for CSU. So here's our first time to see Miles Dutton in this weekend series. That pitch outside was 0-2, now 1-2. Wager hit that RBI double that scored 1 run and put him at second base. Dupert over at third. Top of the lineup, and the lefty at the plate looks at a called third strike. He's not happy about that one. He was questioning it all the way as he backtracked slowly towards his dugout.
Oh, a huge strikeout there.
That was big time right there, as you mentioned. I've got to apologize. I didn't see that it was a pinch hitter that had came in there because that was number 17, Kyle Jenkins, who struck out. Burgess had already struck out a couple of times, but it was Jenkins this time who came in. We saw Jenkins come in the same scenario in yesterday's game. So he's the one who struck out there. It brings Gregory to the plate, who also struck out in his last at-bat. Two down, 1-1 the count. Dutton just needs one more big out. Here comes the pitch, and it's hit well into left field. Dane Bullock is backtracking. He's going back towards the warning track, and no doubt about it, of course, he had it all the way. A long fly out there by Gregory. He just misses out on an opportunity to make this real interesting. 7-3, Cougars still on top. Let's head to the bottom of the 8th here on Cougar Sports TV.
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
Two on with only one out for Miles Dutton, who came in relief for Noah Windhorst. Says, no problem. I got this, guys. Gets the job done with a strikeout and then a long fly out there in left field as Dane Bullock saw that come into his glove. There's a first pitch swing there by Isaac Boughton as he flies out to center field.
Bryce Jackson, the new pitcher for the Bearcats.
So that makes it the fourth pitcher of the game here for the Bearcats. That brings Robert Brooks up to the plate as he looks at a ball outside.
So Wager has moved from third to short, and Streeter is at third.
So a couple of changes on the infield there for the Bearcats. 2-0 the count. 9 hits apiece for these two squads. But you love to see the 7-3 run differential in favor of the Cougars. Jackson really taking his time with the catcher Davis. Gets the call, the 3-0, ball 4. Brooks wasn't even tempting for him there, as he'll walk his way over to first base.
So Robert, in addition to the 2-run home run, has 2 walks and has been hit by a pitch.
I want to talk about quite a day. He's seen it all here this afternoon. This guy at the plate has seen the ball this entire series very well. Home run in yesterday's game, that inside the park home run. Had a home run in his last at-bat that he carried its way out of here.
Yeah, how about our 3 and 4 guys in this series?
Oh. Well, your 4 guy is going to head on over to first base after following suit with what the 3-hole guy has done. Just keeps getting hit.
It's a long, strange trip. Now batting number 11, you will
be the same. Living life through the night, thin line of the lightning strike. Sometimes the only light when the moon is tucked
Drew Webb will be the batter here for the Cougars after the meeting on the mound. Batters just keep getting hit. Both of these squads. Brooks has been hit a couple times. Horn was hit by a pitch. Saw Meadows get hit by a pitch earlier in this one. Ritchie got hit by a pitch for the Bearcats. Clanton got hit by a pitch as well. So 2 for Lander, 4 for the Cougars. That's a total of 6 if my math serves me right. 6 different batters that have been hit this afternoon.
It's like a piñata party.
Man. If that's the case, sign me up down there. I'll take some of that candy.
I knew that would get your attention.
Now I'm interested. Sticks is up there right now with 1 out. He fouls that one on top of us. Drew Webb finally got his multi-hit game that he was looking for. His second one of the season in the opener of this series when he collected 3 hits. Had himself quite the night Friday night. 3 for 4, but since then hasn't been able to find the hits as that one's going to pop off the newly inserted shortstop who moved over from third base, Wager. We saw one go through the wickets over at third base, and that was a tough one with the runner at second base kind of shielding that last second.
Well, and I was going to point that out. That's a great job of running by Robert Brooks because he just hesitated long enough to shield Wager before taking off to third.
The ever-heady Robert Brooks. Making plays on the base paths.
Well, we got a 3-run home run today, a 2-run home run today. How about a grand slam here?
Fastball that gets away from the catcher.
And Dane says, you just ruined my
on,
opportunity
man.
for a grand slam, man.
I wanted it. Well, maybe he feels a little bit better that there's not bases loaded because he had bases loaded on Friday night and struck out. Now let's make it maybe 2 on. Although the very next at-bat that Dane had, there were 2 on and he struck out as well. So who knows?
Well, a little more breathing room here.
8-3, Cougars on top. They score 1 on the wild pitch. I think the scoreboard has everyone just a little bit confused as it reads 7-4 right now. I hope that I have the right team up at the plate. That's 7-5. Why not? Oh, a rocket over to the first baseman. That was a laser to Dupert. Just stuck his glove out there and robbed one from Bullock.
That's tough luck right there.
Dupert doing a little dance over there at first base after he collected that one. Hit hard, just went right to him. That'll bring Will Banks up to the plate. One of the Cougar batters that is hitless on the afternoon. Looks at a strike on the outside corner to start this AB. Webb is over there on second base, Horn on third. We watch Brooks cross home plate on the wild pitch. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's hit hard into the air out there in left center field. Center fielder is going to come all the way over. That's Richie who makes the grab. Well, the Cougars at least get one run up there on the board. It's 8-3. All right, let's finish the deal here on Cougar Sports TV.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting
Here we go, top of the ninth on Cougar Sports TV. It's time to unleash the Bear. Brady Keiss back out there. A third game in a row that we've seen Keiss in the ninth inning. First pitch swinging. Drew Webb takes a couple steps back and snow cone that ball as he made a little jump there for out number one.
All right, I can breathe again.
Keiss picked up the save on Friday night, part of that 3-2 win when he came in relief. Came back into relief yesterday, part of that 4-1 win. Picked up back-to-back saves. Not a save opportunity here, but third game in a row for Brady Keiss. Two more outs to go for CSU. 0-1 the count, one down. Let's finish the job here with Glanton at the plate. The appeal, no-go on that pitch. Brady Keiss has been a huge addition to this Cougar squad. Coming over from McHenry County College. Originally out of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. That ball hit into foul territory towards the Lander dugout. It's just going to get out of play over the fence. Drew Webb giving chase out there. Naturally, Keiss has become one of my favorite new players simply because he's from Cheesehead country, and I grew up a Packers fan.
How did that happen? How did you grow up?
We have the connection. Well, the Oilers left town, and so I didn't have a team when I was a kid.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everyone always asks Green Bay, how does that make any sense being from Texas? So I latched on. Green was my favorite color. I latched on to the Packers when I was in second grade.
Yeah, well,
and
that's a good choice for a young kid.
Stuck with them ever since.
Yeah.
I do like the Texans. You know, I'll cheer for my hometown team, but the Packers have been my go-to team at the NFL level. Two quick outs. One more to go here for Keiss. Yeager up there at the plate, looks at a ball inside on him. Keiss has pitched 7 2/3 this season in his 7 appearances. 5 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts. There's a ground ball over to second baseman, and the throw to first base, and that'll do it here at Ragsdale Field House. Sweep it is.
Another sweep in the conference by the Cougars. And I'm telling you, this baseball team just keeps taking care of business, very workmanlike, rolling along.
Back-to-back weekend conference sweeps for the Cougars. as they take care of business all weekend long against Lander. A 3-2 win on Friday night, a 4-1 win yesterday afternoon, and now a 8-3 victory to seal the deal. Well, CSU will improve to 14-3 on the year, 8-1 inside of Peach Belt Conference play. Lander falls to 10-7, 4-4 overall inside of conference play. Columbus State, they stay on top of the Peach Belt Conference standings. Unfortunately, no midweek game, and we won't be here at Ragsdale Field this upcoming weekend. But make sure you follow all the action, CSUCougars.com. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/CSU Cougars, or at CSU Cougars BSB on Twitter, and you can follow all the action on the road. All right, Scott, it's been fun. Always great having you here in the booth.
Always nice to see Cougars win.
Well, that's going to wrap things up for us here at the ballpark. I'm going to head on down and grab some interviews with the players and Coach Appleton. For our cameraman, our producer, our statistician, for everyone here at the ballpark, and for Scott Miller, I'm Corey Aldis. We'll see y'all next time this upcoming Wednesday when the Lady Cougar basketball team squares off against USC Aiken in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Have a great weekend.